Hey, welcome back. It's Jason Walter here. In today's housing market update, I'm going to provide some information regarding an extension of mortgage loan forbearances for multifamily properties. This forbearance extension is for 5 units or greater, so for apartment buildings, for example. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how to enter into a forbearance if you are experiencing a financial hardship and you're an investor of an apartment building, for example. Also, if you live in an apartment building and you're a renter, I'm going to discuss all the details for you about all the protections you have as a renter. The best way to share this information with you is to share my screen with you. But before that, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. I post videos about how this pandemic is affecting our real estate market, and I really enjoy making these videos for you. So hope you're getting a lot of value out of them. Also, hit the like button if you appreciate real estate market updates just like this one. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen with you right now. So I found on the Urban Institute's website that about 12% of landlords do have a mortgage in forbearance. If you recall, a forbearance basically allows you to put the pause button on paying your mortgage payment. I'm going to discuss all the details here in just a little bit. In addition, according to their website here, half the landlords surveyed said they did not know whether their servicers offered a forbearance. So the purpose of this video is to give you all your options if you're a renter or an investor of an apartment building or an investment property of 5 units or greater. So take a step back here. Let's discuss what the CARES Act did. This is for multifamily properties. I talk a lot about my channel about forbearances for single family houses, duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes. But let's talk about multifamily properties. And those are defined as, under the CARES Act, of 5 units or greater. So under the CARES Act that was passed in late March, if you have a multifamily property that has a federally backed mortgage and you are experiencing a financial hardship due to COVID-19, you may request a forbearance under the terms of this agreement here. So let's go over this in detail here. So if you are a multifamily borrower, meaning you have a mortgage that's backed by a multifamily property, then if you are current on the payments of your mortgage as of February 1st, 2020, you may submit an oral or written request for forbearance under subsection A to the borrower's servicer, affirming that the multifamily borrower is experiencing a financial hardship due to COVID-19. So if you are an investor, you own a multifamily property, and you have a mortgage that's backed by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, then you can request to do a mortgage loan forbearance, which basically puts the pause button on paying your mortgage. So let's discuss that here. So upon receipt of an oral or written request for forbearance from a multifamily borrower, a servicer, and then servicer obviously is the company you pay your mortgage to, they have to document the financial hardship. So maybe you lost your job, or maybe your tenants aren't paying the rent because of COVID. Any type of financial hardship due to COVID-19, this is covered under this bill here. So the loan servicers shall document the financial hardship that you have and then provide the forbearance up to 30 days and then possible extension of the forbearance for 2 additional 30-day periods. Okay, so this is a 90-day loan forbearance program here for multifamily properties. Obviously a lot different than single-family properties of single-family houses, duplexes, triplexes, and fourplexes, because those properties you can do a mortgage loan forbearance for 6 months and then get another 6-month extension. So for 12 months or 1 year. So if you're multifamily, you only get 90 days total. All right, let's talk about renter protections during this forbearance period if you are a renter here. So under the CARES Act here. This is an exact text from the CARES Act. If you want to follow along, it's page 211 of 335 of the CARES Act actual text of the bill. So a multifamily borrower who receives forbearance may not, during the duration of the forbearance, may not evict or initiate the eviction of the tenant, and also may not charge the tenant any late fees or penalties or any other charges that was described in this paragraph here. They may not require a tenant to vacate a dwelling, so you have to give them a 30-day notice to vacate, but you cannot evict them. That's also part of this CARES Act, and I'll discuss that here in just a little bit because that was just extended. Again, this is for 5 or more dwelling units for this extension here. And the covered period under the CARES Act is the sooner of the termination date of the national emergency or December 31st, 2020. Again, that just got extended yesterday because President Trump just signed a bill that provided an extension of this, and I'll discuss that here in just a little bit. So you do have a temporary moratorium on evictions. So let's discuss that here. On page 2,281 of 5,593 of this new COVID relief bill, this is that $900 billion relief bill that was just signed yesterday at the time of this video. So they do have an extension of evictions that is going to go through January 31st, 2021. All right, let's go over this extension here. So now that you know a little bit about this forbearance, how you enter into one, and also I'm going to provide some information for renters as well in this video here. So let's go ahead and dive in. So multifamily property owners that enter into a new or modified forbearance must offer tenant protections. So we're basically saying that if you want to enter a forbearance and stop paying your mortgage on your multifamily property, you have to provide some tenant protections to your tenants as well. So this is for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are called the enterprises. And by the way, this is an announcement from the Federal Housing Finance Agency, or the FHFA. So it says that the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the enterprises, will continue to offer this forbearance to qualifying multifamily property owners through March 31st, 2021. The enterprise programs were set to expire on December 31st, 2020, as you saw there on the CARES Act. So property owners with this enterprise-backed multifamily mortgages can enter into a forbearance if they have a financial hardship. But property owners who enter into a new or modified forbearance agreement must inform their tenants in writing that they are doing this forbearance plan. In addition, they agree not to evict tenants solely for non-payment of rent while the property is in forbearance. So you may ask yourself, how am I going to know whether or not my property owner of my apartment building that I live in, how am I going to even know that they enter into a forbearance? Yes, they are required to give you in writing that they are in this payment protection plan, but there's a way that you actually can search to see if your property owner is in forbearance. I'm going to provide the details here in just a little bit. Additional tenant protections apply during this repayment period, the forbearance period. These protections include a 30-day notice to vacate, not charging tenant late fees and penalties, and allowing tenant flexibility in paying back this money. So you don't have to pay back your missed rent payments in a lump sum. So it says here, in addition to requiring written tenant notification, again, I'm going to give you some information about how you can be more proactive and find out if your landlord or property owner is in forbearance, and then you have more protections in place if they are. In any case, in addition to requiring written tenant notifications, the enterprises have posted the tenant protections in their respective online multifamily property lookup tool websites. I actually found those websites for you. I'll share all the details with you here in just a little bit, and also provide some links in the description below for you as well. The property lookup tools make it easy for tenants to find out if their multifamily property in which they reside has an enterprise-backed mortgage. That is key because you can actually search to see if your property that you live in is backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. Okay, let's first discuss a Fannie Mae, and then I'll discuss Freddie Mac and how you can search to see if your property is backed by any of these entities, because you have additional protections in place if you are a renter. Fannie Mae has what's called a renter's resource finder. It's an online tool that identifies apartments and other multifamily properties of 5 units or more financed by Fannie Mae, whose residents are eligible for eviction protection. Again, you have eviction protection up until January 31st of next year, 2021, under the CARES Act, along with other resources in place. So with this renter's resource finder, residents can find out if they're eligible by entering their address to see if it's Fannie Mae financed. It also matches them with available resources and helpful information as well. They have a great website it's knowyouroptions.com about all your options if you're a homeowner or a renter, if you are experiencing a financial hardship. And by the way, if you are experiencing a financial hardship, my heart goes out to you. And the purpose of this video is really to help you know your options as a landlord or as also a renter. Also, if they live in a Fannie Mae financed property, they will have access to Fannie Mae's Disaster Response Network, which offers free help navigating the broader financial challenges caused by this pandemic. It includes HUD-approved housing counselors. Again, this is for renters, federal and state housing assistance information, and guidance on unemployment benefits, nutritional assistance, and any other available programs. And by the way, part of this $900 billion COVID relief package includes a boost to unemployment benefits of $300 extra per week for 10 to 11 weeks, depending on how they view Trump signing the relief bill one day late. We'll find about that. Okay, so that's the Fannie Mae, and let's go over their website because this is knowyouroptions.com, and I clicked on the button for renters. So on this website, again, knowyouroptions.com, I'll provide the links in the description below for you. If your landlord or property owner has received payment relief on the financing we've provided by Fannie Mae, this is known as forbearance. These protections could include protection from eviction, a 30-day notice to vacate, suspension of late fees and penalties, and also flexibility on repaying the missed payments over a period of time. You're not required to pay it back in a lump sum. So you go to this website to use this Renters Resource Finder. You would enter your main address of your apartment or rental complex, and that's usually the leasing office address. So you would enter into the address here, click on Submit, and it provides you to see if this is backed, if the loan is backed by Fannie Mae, and also the options you have available if you are a renter. Okay, that was Fannie Mae. Let's discuss Freddie Mac. On their website here, again, I'll provide a link to this. It says that borrowers who enter into a new or supplemental forbearance arrangement with Freddie Mac must notify renters of all tenant protections, including the eviction moratorium, not going to be charged any late fees or penalties, and flexibility in repayment of the back rent. You're not required to pay it in a lump sum, 30-day notice to vacate. And also, renters do not have to show COVID-19 related hardship to be eligible for any of the protections listed above. So you don't have to provide any related documents to show that you are having a financial hardship. You simply have to go to these websites to find out if the property that you're living in is backed by Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae. So for Freddie Mac, they say this program is accessible to borrowers across the more than 27,000 properties in the U.S. that are backed by Freddie Mac. And that's approximately 4.2 million U.S. renters that reside in these properties here. So how do you tell if your apartment building that you're living in is financed by Freddie Mac? They have a finder just like Fannie Mae. So you'd go onto this website here. Again, I'll provide the information for you with a link for this. You basically would enter into the property's address, click on this button here, and then click Submit. And it would tell you whether or not your building you're living in is backed by Freddie Mac, and also provide you all the details about your protections as a renter. So hope you found that useful. I hope you got a lot of value out of this video. If you did, please hit the like button. I greatly appreciate that. Also, consider subscribing as well. I post videos about how this pandemic is affecting our housing market, and I really enjoy making these videos for you, even though it's not my full-time job. You also can follow me on Instagram. I'm Sacramento Realtor. Hope you have an awesome day. I look forward to seeing you on the next video.